Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Graciously Me. Thank you for joining the conversation tonight. My name is Jameelah Scott. I am the owner of Jameelah Scott Enterprises and founder of Graciously Me Women's Empowerment Group, and also host of this fabulous show, Conversations with Graciously Me. All who are watching the replay, please type hashtag replay in the comments so that I know you were here and I can show you some love a little later on. If you hear something tonight that has informed you or enhanced your life in any way, please feel free to support the platform by donating via Cash App. And that is right there at the bottom, Cash App, $ Jameelah Scott, to help keep this platform thriving. So before we get started with tonight's show, please know that we do now have a dedicated Conversations with Graciously Me Facebook page and YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and like the page as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel. I am not going to hold us up tonight. We're going to be talking about a hot topic tonight, and that is working for free and why we should not do that. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you Miss Eulica Kimber CPA. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, family. How are you?
Good. How are you? How are you on tonight?
I'm doing well. Of a typical COVID night, I'm in. So I'm glad I get to have some company with you tonight.
Yes, I'm glad to have you. I just want to get started. I want the people to know who you are. So if you could just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, that would be great.
So again, my name is Eulica Kimber. I'm a CPA, MBA, and I'm a business growth consultant. I help small business owners, primarily women, teach them how to build profitable businesses. There are a lot of business coaches and business consultants in the space, but being a CPA and an MBA, I actually attack it from the numbers angle. So we actually look at your profit, at what products and services you're building, and we actually build profitable businesses that can be sustained over generations. Actually, for multi-generational wealth is one of our goals.
Oh, that sounds good. Is there a lot of there are a lot of coaches, like you said, and there are a lot of businesses, but they're, very broad in general. So for you to know specifically the goal is to grow your profits and to make money, that's good. And that's what we all
need. And different coaches have different purposes, because some are about a niche. Some of them have certain experience, like yourself as a makeup artist. So you have so that it's a different purpose. You're trying to teach people how to run this type of business. But all of those people can come to me afterwards and we can talk about, okay, how are you making money? I know you got a business card. I know you got a website, but how are we generating money? How much does it cost you to do that? How much does it cost you to procure a client? And sometimes new business owners don't really think about that. They just get so excited that they have a business, but then nobody's coming to it. So we figure that.
And you really don't have a business until you start making some money.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it's just a hobby. Well, look, I want to let everyone know that I met you. You were one of my clients, one of my makeup clients. I'm telling you, I have an awesome makeup career. I have met some fabulous women, and you are definitely one of them. So I wanted to place that up. You want to talk a little bit about you in the cover?
So I was in an MBA program at the College of William and Mary, and I was invited. They invited. It was a hybrid. It was mostly online, but some things were on campus. And they asked us to come do a photo shoot because they were having some promotional things coming up and up in the future. And so I went to the photo shoot, and I went to Jameelah. I said, I need a basic look. I don't need a glammed out look. I need a basic. This is MBA. These are accountants and nerds. I need just a clean look, professional, and we kept it in those. And I did not know that I would end up on the cover of there. So if you went to their website and say I'm interested in the MBA program, you get a book with my face on it. Can you believe that they put this? And I think it was really because we honor what the wishes were. You know what I'm saying? It was conservative. It was a professional Black woman, so I'm sure that helps them with their demographics and attraction. So that is my first experience of you. And then afterwards, I don't know if you remember, we had a consultation where you went through my makeup and you threw out all this old cruddy stuff. And you helped me order and make sure I had the right brushes. Yeah. And so really, I accredit you with some of my professionalism and even the presentation that I do. So even if I don't have a makeup artist, I can put myself together.
Yes.
Get it?
Yes, that's the goal, because I can't be everywhere with my clients. So that's one of the goals, to make sure you are still looking good, even if I'm not around.
Exactly. And I thank you for that. I really do.
No problem.
And there's another point to that as well, too. You never know, before we even get into the business talk, you never know what the connections that you're making.
You're right.
You never know. So I wouldn't be sitting here today if I hadn't received an excellent service. You understand?
Oh, so, yeah.
So don't despise any beginning. That you never know where that relationship is going to take you.
Yeah, that is so true. You have been a great supporter of mine ever since, even when I had the teenage girls class. You supported and hello, we got some new viewers. So hello to the new viewers. But yeah, you supported me and had the teenagers, one of them, to be able to come and sponsor them for free. So thank you so much for always standing by me and supporting me. So I appreciate it.
You make it easy to do because you're doing worthwhile things. So it's not very hard. It's not a stretch to have to support.
I just want to keep up the good work. You know what I mean? You're right, Trina. Trina said powerful connections. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why you are in business, and we're going to get in that. But when you meet people, you have to treat everybody well. I don't care if initially you came in to get your makeup done. I didn't realize that all these other things would follow suit. But what I'm saying is, you have to treat everybody well, because you don't know where that's headed. That could be one appointment right now, but after that, you don't know how that's going to develop. So
exactly, I think you're always on an interview. You're always on an interview for your next connection, your next client. You never know who you are talking to.
So true. Now tell us your story. Like what?
Which chapter? Which chapter did you?
I want to know, how did you even come to the realization that I want to be the person to help people make the money? They have the business, they have the idea, they have the branding, they have the websites, they have the Instagram and social media. How did you come to the realization that this is what I want to do? This is my part that I can play in a business owner's life.
So I realized that people, when they come to a CPA when they're in trouble. Their taxes are messed up, or they're trying to get a loan and don't have financial statements, or they're losing a lot of money. So they would come to me when they were already in trouble. And I really realized that I needed to be out front helping people build profitable businesses that were legal, that they had their business license, that they were filing taxes on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. And so really my business was born out of my clients' pain.
Wow.
And so and that's a good point for business. So you need to find a pain point if you want to build a business. So like the pain point of that, I needed somebody to do my makeup. So some people, and I'm sorry, I'm going to teach randomly. Some people are building businesses with no pain point.
So explain a pain point. Like everybody might not know what that is. So
a pain point is a need or something that I cannot or am not willing to do for myself. So we talked about the photo shoot I went to. Pain point is I had little time. I really wasn't doing my makeup. I needed somebody professional to do my makeup. Pain point, you need surgery. You need a doctor. Yeah. We need to go get dinner quickly. We ride through the McDonald's drive-through. You're answering a need or a want of a customer. That's what we call in business a pain point. You're answering a pain point. So some people are creating a business because somebody else is doing it, but it's no genuine pain point. And so guess what? Where they at? They're in our DM. So will you buy this? Will you look at this? Will you do this? Because there's no pain point. When you have the pain point, the people will come to you when they know what you have available. Did you run me down, Jameelah? Did you have to run me down to do my makeup? No.
I did.
I knew it was you advertised what you did. I had the pain. I came to you. That's how business works.
Yeah. So if you're not technically, so what you're saying, if you're not solving a problem or if you're not being somebody's answer to something, then it's very little chance that you're going to have a profitable business.
Over the long haul, over the long run, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be challenging because the money should be following you once you have a reputation, once you have some clients. But if people don't understand that's something that they need, then it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
So
need or want. We don't say just need, want.
Right. So we're talking about stop working for free. So tell us about that. What do you find that's going on?
Okay, so we as African American women, we basically sustain and run an entire community. From our churches, we putting on events. When somebody died, we baking cakes and we serve. We run a whole event. Actually, think about a repast. Or even like you probably know makeup artists who do it very well, but they do it for free for their friends, or people direct weddings for free. We do stuff at PTA. So many things that we're doing that we're giving our skills away for free. Yeah. Even if it's cleaning somebody's house, or sitting with somebody. There's so many skills that we possess that someone would pay us for, but we haven't realized that that's something because we want a glamorous business.
Right.
When really all I really need is somebody to come and wash my dishes every Thursday.
Right.
And it might be something that you enjoy. So I find that, and we as a community of African American women are women who usually suffer the most financially, that don't have retirement income, who don't have health insurance, that may or may not be getting the child support that we're supposed to be getting. So sometimes we're at a financial deficit, but while we're at a deficit, we're giving our skills away for free. Now, I'm not saying you need $1 million, but you can make enough money to put gas in your car this week. You can make enough money to put groceries in your house. And sometimes we don't feel valued enough to even ask the marketplace to pay us.
Oh,
and once you start doing stuff for free, as you know, as a business owner, it's hard to switch over and say, well, now charge.
It is almost impossible.
Because you train your customer. You train your customer how to treat you and how to pay you and how to value you. So, that it's really a pain point for me, for people who do not charge or charge too little. And even when I started my CPA firm, I was charging very little because I didn't know my worth. I didn't know I could charge. Can I say it? I didn't know I could charge the same as the white folk. I knew I was getting an MBA. But I'm like, my people, but I wasn't running a profitable business. But that was about my self-worth.
Right.
And I had to figure out, no, I can do this. And sometimes that price will push away the bad customers.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're not willing to pay. And I just want the people that are listening, even if they're not starting a business, even if they're running somebody to the hospital or helping do errands, and they offer you that $5, say thank you.
Yes.
Because some people are like, you know what, I owe you. Oh, it's kind of that we believe that we're supposed to be taken advantage of at times. And that is not the case. We are valuable. We are worthy of higher. And we should be living better because of the skills, services, and compassion that we have for our community.
Yes, that is so true. Someone says sometimes you gotta, wait a minute, I'm getting an echo. Sometimes you gotta shut it all down, put systems in place, up level your self-worth, then get back in the game. That's true.
That's very true. Very true.
You definitely have to do that. Now, let me ask you this then. Why should I create a business versus just helping out or just doing it, randomly? Why should I do that?
I'm going to answer that by first telling you why you should not create a business. Okay. You should not create a business because your friend created a business. You should not create a business because you hate your job.
Yeah.
I
got quiet on that. It was, if they can't say amen.
Because you hate your job. So what your business is going to be a job. You're going to show up and work at it. And what kind of boss are you going to be if you hate the workplace? I'm just asking. So I usually start answering that question about why you should not create a business. You should not create a business because you think you're going to be rich overnight. It's not going to happen like that. Usually it doesn't. Unless you created Microsoft or something just blow that we ain't never seen before. You're going to have to work at it. So the reason why you should create a business is because you have something to offer to the world that is of value. That is the reason you should create a business. Something you enjoy, something you want to do even if you don't get paid. Those are the businesses that thrive. Now, I'm not saying you're not getting into business for the money, but it has to be something that keeps you moving beyond the money.
True.
It has to. And so I would look at what you have to offer that people are already asking you for that you enjoy doing.
So
that probably cancels out half of the stuff that people are inboxing me about.
Right. Because you have to have a passion for it, because there are going to be times where the money is good, and there's going to be time that you're glad you saved when the money was good, because it's going to be times of preparation. And then it's going to be times where people get on your nerves, especially if you're in the service industry. So you feel like you're running from your job because you have to deal with people just to run slam into people again. So and then you really got to deal with them because now it's yours. And so you don't want to.
You need to work out why you hate your job. I think you need to work that out first. I think you need to work out why you don't, it might be something other than the job itself. Because I don't really turn down money. So it's a problem for you to go somewhere and make some money. And to be honest, many of the people, the business plans that I've seen, there are not a lot of people who coming out of work and boom, just making crazy money, not from the jump.
Right.
It's really a process. And I just want, and I'll say this, most people who are that I work with, in my experience, who are the most profitable business owners were good employees.
Gotcha.
They ought to hate to see you go.
Yes.
But if they glad, I'm glad she, because if you don't have the passion to honor somebody else's business, to be there on time, to come up with ideas, it's gonna be probably hard for you to sustain after that whole honeymoon period wears off. It may be hard for you to sustain over time.
Yeah, because it's definitely a honeymoon period, especially when you're in the photo shoot and I do your makeup and your website so cute. But about 2 months later, if you're not getting dings on that website, the honeymoon is over.
And some people, and the other thing I would say about working, don't hate your job so bad that you miss the lesson.
Yes.
If you worked at a corporation for 20 years, I expect you to be professional. I expect you to know how to write. I expect you to know how to do customer service. So don't be so evil and upset with your boss that you miss the lessons of working in a professional work environment. There are lessons there. If you work for a major, especially here in the Virginia, DC, Richmond area, we're talking about Fortune 500 companies.
Yes.
So you tell me you worked at Capital One for 20 years and I can't get you to email me back when I ask you about my product? I'm just saying.
Right. Or you don't have a system in place.
I'm just pulling Capital One out of the thing. You feeling your employer. But don't be so bitter about the work that you miss the lessons of a professional workplace. Pay attention to their seasons, their schedule, their scheduling meetings and how they respond and even how they handle clients, how they handle employees. You should be learning something. So you should not be at ground zero when you go step out to do your business. But again, that goes back to not despising small beginnings, to really embrace where you are and know that every season has a purpose and that you are there to learn. Especially if you're talking about you working for an established business, working for the state, working for the federal government. I expect you, when you come to me as a business consultant, there's certain ground level skills you should be solid with.
Right, exactly.
But you think you can roll in at 10 and call people back when you want, you're going to be hungry.
Yeah.
You're going to be hungry.
Because the money is in the follow through.
Exactly.
Sometimes I get it right and sometimes I don't, but I definitely know that. And it always proves every time you follow through, that's where your money is. So
exactly.
And you're right, getting up And just thinking it's just going to come to you like that right away it's not. No. And you're right. I had to learn that because I was one of those ones that despised my job. I couldn't even see. I didn't even want to be there. I was like, I just didn't want to be there. And so I really had to change my view around having a 9-to-5 and having, like I said, I even say in my book how I just left. I was like, I'm out of here. That was one of the worst things I could have done without having a plan. But when you do have a plan, it can be one of the greatest things. But you just running out, and that's how I know you just running out, and then you still have bills. You still have, how you going to run a business when you're trying to figure out how you going to get groceries, how you going to feed the kids, how you going to pay the rent, but you left. You don't have, anything established. So
looking back, now turn the question on you. So looking back, what did you gain? What in that job that you hated is still a skill or whatever that you do in your business today?
I would say definitely customer service. That's one of the main things I think from that job that I just really picked up, how to treat your customer like, that they're important. They're the main thing, and sometimes I just cringe when I see on Facebook, I see these businesses, and they're right. They're telling the truth. You put stuff out, people don't read, you put on the post, go to my website and somebody definitely going to inbox you. You say, send me an email and somebody going to DM you. And you be like, do these people not read? I know I said, go to my website, but I see these business owners, small business owners, they come on, look, with an attitude, look, I'm not going to say this. And I'm like, ooh, I've
seen recently, it was a gentleman, he started blasting people and posting people's emails complaining about delivery or whatever. He posted. So I maybe he's okay with that, but I just think that just some professionalism and just kindness and just being gracious. Right.
And that's yes, because you can ward off your customers. Don't think your product is so good that nobody else, you can't go to some. I knew somebody was going to say it because I saw it. Look, let me hide it. I ain't even going to put it up. Because I knew exactly who you were talking about, but I ain't want to put them on.
I was like, ooh. But maybe they in a place
but that's still my boy, right? So but what I'm saying is he has come to a certain point where he, so maybe he feels like, I'm talking about, I have seen small business owners that's just getting started, 2 years, 5 years, go on and say what you're not going to do, what I'm not going to do is do this. And don't get so into yourself, so full of yourself that you think people won't leave you because your product is so good. Because baby, your product, as good as you think it is, people like you when buy from you when they know, like, and trust you. And your posts, if they're going to start not liking you, then they're going to start not trusting you because they don't know how much you're going to say. So, your
Jameelah, that was the chick or the dude in the office with the stank attitude on the job. I'm telling you, that attitude on the job really just is who you are. I believe they have a stank attitude everywhere they go. And they just think, I'm going to go run my own stuff because these people are stupid. I'm just saying, you cannot outrun who you are. Work on who you are, be at peace. Because we don't want to run businesses that run us down. You want to do it with joy. That's why it needs to be something that you enjoy. It needs to be working with people that you enjoy, because it's going to come a day that the money is not enough. You're going to have to get up because you love it. You know what I'm saying? And I hopefully, if you see me out there blasting people, I need you to pull my coattails. So Eulica, you out there now. Come on. Come on.
Somebody said you forget where you come from. That's true. Even these days, in this COVID era, we were even talking, I was talking to someone else and they were saying that they've seen commercials from companies that they've never seen commercials for before. Like, they never seen a Tesla commercial. All of a sudden Tesla got a commercial. Normally they would say, keep saying your name until you don't have to say it anymore and all that. Well, now everybody is saying their name. Everybody is buying for something. So none of us are to the point where we just think we can say, do whatever. Once we actually build a client base that we can treat them any kind of way. And like I said, sometimes it's warranted. Sometimes they did mess up. Sometimes it, but you never want to put your business out there so where they can be negatively talked about, because that's going to get around.
That reflects upon your brand.
Yes. Somebody, oh Lord, you can't outrun who you are. You sure can't. You gotta look. I don't care what we talk about on here, on Conversations with Graciously Me. It always ends up being about working on you. I don't care what it is. You always have to work on you. You cannot get out of it. You can't run from it. You can't. If you really want to be the best you can be, you got to work on yourself. So, it's no way around that at all. So what steps, how do we begin? If we say, okay, I clean homes, when I leave out of the person's house, it's sparkling. It's never been like that. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at that, and I love to do it. So then what? I don't know what to do at this point. So where do they start?
So what I would do is, me personally, before you do anything, I would sit down and figure out what your current situation is. So are you working a full-time job? Are you, because that talks about the hours you can work, right? Because you need to be realistic. We're not trying to, we need sleep. We need to eat. So I would really sit down and think about where your current situation is. Okay. I would also reach out or do Google or look online at other people who are in the same space as you.
Okay.
What are they charging in say you're in Richmond, Virginia, or in Washington? What are they charging to clean the house? What are they offering? You can see advertisements all day,
Yes.
To see what the competition is doing and start studying them, start following them, start seeing what they do and how they run their business. Then you want to see how you can differentiate yourself. So you might want to start with maybe family and friends, just to see, I want to do this for you, but give me feedback. So you never, especially early on in the game, you never just want to do a service and walk away. You want to ask them, so what do you really need? What do you really need? Because I had one lady clean my house, and guess what she told me?
What did she say?
She told me I need to organize. Cleaning my house was doing nothing because I had too much stuff.
So what did you do next? Was that
organized? So she sat down with me and we ordered containers. She helped me go through my clothes. That wasn't even because she wanted my house to look clean when it was done.
Yeah.
But she said she learned that from talking to her past clients. It wasn't good enough for her to go wash clothes, cook, clean. She needed to go beyond. So if somebody else they just cleaning, she could say, no, I'm pretty good at organizing too. I can help you. She's like, no, you got too many clothes. It don't matter what I do to these clothes.
It's too many.
You know how I look clean to you?
Yes.
So after you figure out what it is that you like to do, and you must enjoy doing it. If you hate cleaning houses, that should not be your thing.
Right.
So it needs to be something that you love. You figure it out. Then you're gonna follow other people, see how they do, how much they charge. Then you got to look at when you are available to do that.
Right.
So it might be only Saturdays starting out. It might be that you need to hire somebody or get somebody to help you. You got to do something realistic. You can't work 9 to 5 and then clean until midnight. And it's not going to work. You're going to tear your body down.
Yes, quickly.
Exactly. And also I would say to keep the cost down. Okay. So you don't need a whole photo shoot to clean people's houses up front.
You sure don't.
You might have to use the photo feature on your iPhone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to get started. Because a lot of people are spending too much money up front. Because I might do it 6 months and be like, I can't clean another house.
Yes.
Sucks.
Yeah, you have to almost kind of do like a focus group and then test it out. Don't be so in a rush to do it, and then you find out, this ain't for me. And then you get all of this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then find out what people need. So maybe you might evolve that business and say, I don't need to be cleaning. I need to be organizing.
Yes.
One time, help you go through your closet, hold this up, this don't match. We're gonna put all the shirts together, all the blues together. Maybe that's what it is. So the business might not even be the original concept that you thought about. Just I think about you and our experience. So the one-time makeup was good, but really what's had the lasting effect in my life is when you came and did the consultation and went through my stuff.
Wow.
But if you only say, I'm only doing makeup, you would have missed that. You
that's good to know. I didn't realize that. So that's good information.
Yes. I'm like, this is my brushes. I think I'm a professional now. A little bootleg. But so people don't think outside the box, especially if you're trying to do what everybody else is doing. You don't think about, how could I do this differently? How could I meet people's needs? And that goes to really talking to the customers. Those first few customers are a blessing.
Yes.
And you can talk to them and ask, so what else? What do you really, really want?
Right.
I told you something that I wanted. I don't know if you ever did it.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know. I you know what? And I still have the list. I'm not gonna say it on air, but I'm gonna definitely go back to it.
No, I want anyway. I ain't gonna get into that.
Okay.
So it's really and think about, and also what I want to say in all the things that I've said. Did I say anything about an LLC?
Sure didn't. I haven't heard it.
People are starting LLCs and they don't even have a business concept.
Yes.
They don't have anything that's income. We call it income generating activity.
Right.
So people think they have a business because they got the LLC, they got a website, but what you putting on the website? What you selling?
Right.
And so there are habits and what I call businesses, and I'm sorry to say this, but this is what I call them bootleg business. I call them bootleg businesses. So one of my missions is the unbootleg businesses.
Right.
And to have a LLC but not have a clear vision of what your business is, it's a little bootleg.
Yeah, exactly.
People are, well, I got my LLC. Do Target come and be like, well, I got my corp? No, they tell you what their business is.
Exactly.
I want to know what your income generating activity is. Income generating, everybody write that down. What is my income generating activity?
Write it down for me, somebody.
Everything should be in business should be income generating. Even this broadcast that you're doing should be leading to some kind of generate wealth for you.
Right.
Information, but you're telling people about your services, what you do, so are you just on?
I know, don't fuss.
We don't get in the clubhouse, right? I'm still trying to figure out what is the income generating activity, or people just, I don't know. I'm sure.
Well, I think the thing with Clubhouse is this, because you can't have a product and nobody to sell it to, and you can't have people and no product. So I think what happens a lot of times, people have products, but they have not they haven't narrowed down their target audience. So therefore, they're selling to everybody, and then they're mad when they only get 3 sales. When your whole Facebook page is your family, people you really don't like, people from school, and that's not your target audience. So I think with that,
you don't really like.
I got everybody following me. I don't even know why they on there really, but I don't take them off. I'm like, whatever, you can watch this blow up. God say he'll set you up on a table before your enemies. So hey, who am I to let you go?
Come on, come see this. Come see all this glory. And
sometimes you gotta act a little dumb, like you don't know.
Exactly.
Right? So I think that's what it is. With the Clubhouse, they've been getting more generation to their Instagram, more people, more eyes on what they do. It's easy on Clubhouse to look like the expert. So I think that's what it is.
I'm still figuring that out, and really, it's something. But the one thing I wanted to say, I've seen posts on Facebook where people say, "Well, your friends and family won't support you," but they're not supposed to.
Nope.
Those are not customers.
Yeah.
It's not my obligation to support your business. It's nice if I have a need, but you need to create. That's where I go back to answering a pain point. You're going to find a pain point that enough people have.
Right.
Okay, more than 3 people need their makeup done.
Yes.
It's something that's reoccurring. It's
Right.
something that you can do different. You have different styles of makeup for nightlife. You can do weddings. You can do. So it has to be not just a pain point and something you enjoy. It has to be something where there's enough people who need and want it.
Right.
And hopefully it's something that's reoccurring or happens more than once. So you might direct weddings, but more than one person's getting married.
Yes.
So it's just sometimes people like, and I write about it in one of the books that I added a chapter in. But during COVID, someone contacted me about getting into a travel business. We ain't going
right. Yes.
I'm like, so do you travel? Tell me about your, oh, yeah, that's what she talked about, family and friends. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not obligated to support you.
No. And especially if you're not supporting them. It's very hard to do. We're supposed to find new money. We're supposed to go find new customers.
Yeah.
And what was I talking about?
You were talking about how you have to go out and you can't start a travel business during COVID and nobody.
Oh, yes. So I was asking her, so what are you leading trips? What are you doing? She was very upset with me because I was asking her, and that's what I do. I'll pepper you about your business. So what is your idea? Who are you marketing to? What are you selling? How are you? I thought maybe she was leading trips, like, oh, I'm gonna lead a trip to the Bahamas or whatever. But no, she said, no, you just go to my site and hit the link.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And it's going so anyway, I end up having to block her because it got a little about. If you inbox me, I'm gonna ask you what's up. Tell me how we can make this into a business. How we can make this into an enterprise where people are coming to you. And
well, you shouldn't get mad about that. I mean, you need somebody real and in your face and think about something else. I mean, you saved her or could have saved her a whole lot of time and money. Because at the least she would have realized maybe I haven't thought this through all the way.
For free. Because she inboxed me like this whole link and I'm like, so tell me about it. So tell me about your business. I said, what else do you do? What else do you know how to do? And I was like, to me, it was a free consultation. I was wanting to know about her.
Right.
And she only wanted me to click the link and do whatever and get on a call. And that's not a business.
It's not. So what are the benefits of having a business? What's going to make all of this worthwhile?
Well, it depends. Results may vary. There are no guarantees.
Right.
When done right and over time, I think it makes you more savvy in entrepreneurship. You get smarter over time about what you sell, what does well. You understand customers and people. You'll build good relationships. And you'll make some money in the end. Right. When you get smart at this thing. Because as you and I know, as entrepreneurs, starting out, it's a little raggedy.
Yes.
It's a little rough. You're like, oh, that didn't go well. Let me try that again.
Right.
But I cannot, as a CPA, tell you that the benefits are tax deductions. Because you don't create a business for a tax deduction.
Right. Exactly.
It's just, how are you going to sustain that? I just want to know, because you're losing real money if you are.
Yes.
So, it has to be a true income generating activity that you want to engage in, that you enjoy. So other than that, and hopefully you can get your income above your expenses and you make some profit. But what is a benefit of a business? Other than that, that's all I can give you legally and keep my license.
Okay.
Because I do not know, because I work very hard for this thing.
That's right.
So just somebody's promoting profit or saying that you're going to make a whole lot of money, or this is the new craze. And we've been through a lot of the multi-level marketing is excellent. But even in that, I started with multi-level marketing. My first business was actually home interiors.
Okay.
But I love decorating people's houses. I'm like, girl, the whole wall is busted. We about to handle this.
Right.
I'm not against multi-level marketing, but it has to be something that you enjoy doing, something you understand. Yeah. I find that some of the businesses that people are taking on, they really don't understand the ins and outs. So people might be getting into insurance or getting into travel or legal service. and they really don't understand the space that they're getting in. They can't fluidly speak about it at length. Like you can tell, I can talk about this all day, all night.
Right.
And it's hard to really sustain that, or even like, trust, and support you when you're not comfortable with the business because you're wearing something that fits somebody else.
Right, exactly.
Level,
or you come out too soon.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Somebody else's business that you're supporting. Right. And you're following the vision. So I just want to make sure that that you're getting into something that you truly enjoy and you can be passionate about, because that's what people are gonna be drawn to.
That makes sense. You have to, no matter what it is. I think people think that you're not going to put the time in, but you have to put the time in. I don't care. In order to do it right, in order for people to even hear you out, you have to put the time in to even know what you're talking about,
Exactly. It's something that you're really passionate about and enjoy. And I'm the kind of, if you come to me with a business, I'm a question you down. I'm a question, not because, but I just want to understand what are you doing, how do you make money, and sometimes it's hard for the entrepreneur to explain under pressure what their business is and why they do it and how they can help me.
Yes,
that you're not gonna get far like that.
That's true, because I'm telling you, when we got on the phone, I was like, whew, I had to sit back and think. I was like, Lord, girl, you usually on your feet. But she made you think about some things. I had to get off. We got off. I sat down, I grabbed my notebook, and I'm like, dang, I'm missing that. I'm missing the money right here. But I got it now.
There is money to be made. Even in this economy, people looking for stuff to buy.
Yes.
People still have needs. People just think about like Grubhub. We didn't really pay attention to that.
Before that, Instacart, and now it's nothing for me to place an Instacart order.
Exactly. And that was a pain point that was not even like, that was like, oh, just a convenience.
Right, exactly.
That now. But it was something that did not really exist in the marketplace. They captured, and they were ready. They're sitting there, they were ready for the moment. Yeah.
And that's another thing, timing. People don't appreciate the prep work. You have to have a good foundation. You have to, if they weren't already ready, if they weren't already sitting there and they were just trying to hurry up and get it done when COVID hit, it would have been hard for them. But the fact that they had already set up and done the prep and done all of that, and
systems in place. So imagine if a million people got on there to order at the same time and you crashed that site.
Yes.
See? So they had already been through those hard times. They done already, okay, we need a bigger server. Okay, we need to hire people. They'd already been through that. So I said earlier, do not despise the small beginnings. If you're on your job, you need to be learning. What do they need? What are they talking about? What kind of server do they have? What kind of security do they have on their purchase? Just, you need to be learning and really in this time of preparation, be building, because you don't know when you're going to take off.
And that's the thing. And you got to be ready when you do take off.
That reminds me of the young lady who spoke, who read the poem at the inauguration.
Yes.
And they talking about her book sold out. And you don't know when that moment is coming. You have to be prepared. So you use this time to build your business knowledge that you learn. You go to workshops, you build your knowledge, you talk to those customers, you take your hard knocks. And when you fall down, you don't stop.
Right.
As a matter of fact, if you have a horrible customer experience, you go talk to them. Tell them if they'll talk to you.
Sometimes.
And ask them, what would have made this better? I really want to grow from this. And that's what the work that the big companies have done, but we don't see that. We really don't see it.
Right. We don't see the tests and the beta tests and all of that goes into really having a real business, And a lot of times people, they want it perfect so much in the beginning, but you really can't perfect it until you start it. I mean, you can do your research, you got to do your research to even find out if it's a viable business. You have to do all of those things, see what else other people are offering, see what's going to make you different than everybody else. But at the same time, you can't make it perfect until you start getting out there. You don't know, maybe I need this cleaning product and not that cleaning product, until you get out there and say, hey, I'm running into more of this issue, Russ, and instead of but you have to start it. So many people wanted to be perfect before they get started instead of getting started.
That's why I just said to start small. Start with that one cleaning client, bake that one cake, and then get your feedback on how to ship it, on how to present. That's how you're gonna grow. It's not an overnight thing. It's not an overnight thing. You got to put in the time. Absolutely.
And that's what I was going to ask you. So normally, what's the time frame of setting up your business and really seeing the profit from your business? What's the normal? I know everybody's different and every company is different. So, but what's the average time?
I wouldn't say there is an average. I think that it's the individual basis. What I would suggest is that you structure your business or even the venture that you're starting, that you're profitable at every transaction. So if you're baking a cake and it costs you $10 to make the cake, then you sell it for $25, $30. You make sure that each incremental growth is profitable. So that also means you need to make sure you keep track of your receipts to know how much you pay for the supplies. So I can't really say what the average is. I do know that most businesses fail, small businesses fail within the first 18 to 24 months. So the failure rate is
5 years before, now it's even shorter.
18 to 24 months, a business fails, or people give up and walk away. You can go on the State Corporation Commission and see how many dead LLCs there are out there.
Wow.
Sole proprietorship, small businesses are the easiest to fail. And it's because of some of the things that we talked about, that people are not getting in the right business for them, or they're getting, and many businesses fail because there is no market for the product or service that they offer.
Wow.
There is no market. So they're just selling something because somebody else is. And there is no demand, or the market is oversaturated. And you can see, we're not going to even name some of those other businesses we see on Facebook, that everybody's doing it. If everybody is doing it, you might need to do something a little different.
Right.
Because that market is oversaturated.
Yeah. So there is a such thing of being oversaturated, right? Because people are going to say nothing's oversaturated. There's enough money out here for all of us.
It just means that you need to diversify or do something a little different. So, but if everybody's doing the same, especially sometimes in the multi-level marketing space, because you have to sell according to the rules of that company. Right. So you can't vary but so much. And so if everybody's doing the exact same thing, then you're going to go back to hustling and hassling your family and friends, because there's not enough open people who want that product or service. So you're going to find yourself in people's DMs or whatever. And it's about true being realistic.
Yes.
It's about being comfortable to say there is never a failure. It's just a lesson that, okay, I learned this, I can move on, and not keep putting good money after bad. Because if it's not profit, it's not profit. But if you start simple, bake a cake, I spent $10, I spent $25, then there's a lesson in it that applies to all businesses. So even that little cake business can teach you how to run an empire.
Exactly.
So the same thing that you're doing, the same thing that Mr. Walmart does. Buy low, mark it up, do quantity, systemize. There's not more than one way to run a business. It's only one. Oh, can I talk about something?
Please, go ahead.
That I really want to talk about. I don't understand. I have an issue with businesses that are forming LLCs for the purpose of getting a loan or a grant.
Yes, because that's not sustainable.
You're not going to win. If you do not have a business that is sustainable or true business, you're going to be hurting. Especially with a loan. If you're getting a loan, and you have no way to generate income because you haven't thought through a business plan, and you're going to be in trouble.
Yes.
And a loan should be attached to a purpose. Income generating activity. What income generating activity is this funding for?
Right.
You don't get the money and then figure it out. It's not going to work. It's not going to work out for you.
Yeah. And then a lot of people are saying, especially with government, they're not asking for anything. Okay, they're not asking for anything right now, but trust me, they always audit. They always come back. So,
and it is in the government's best interest that we have profitable businesses, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
So they are not putting the money, when they're talking about stimulating, they're expecting you to go and hire people, spend money, run a high profitable business. You're going to be paying, getting a business license, paying other vendors for things. They expect you to be circulating that money.
Right.
And I think it's kind of putting the cart before the horse when people are doing those kind of things. And it makes me question, well, I got my LLC, so I can apply for this. But what are you going to do 24 months from now when this due, or when they do ask you to do a report on what you spent your money on?
Or show your receipts on where. Let me see the documentation.
Exactly. Yeah. And that goes back to, and I know I'm talking on, but it goes back to the mindset of an employee versus the mindset of a business owner.
True.
Employees think paycheck to paycheck. So that thing about I'm gonna do an LLC so I can get a check, that's paycheck thinking.
Right. That's
not thinking longevity. And I'm gonna invest in a mixer so I can make more cakes. I'm gonna do this so I can. It's employee. It's when you thinking hustle, you thinking paycheck. How do I say this nicely? Just you should have stayed at the job so you can get a steady check, because you're not thinking like an entrepreneur. You're not thinking long term.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be harsh, but I just want to be realistic with people, because people of color suffer when we don't play by the rules.
Yes, we do. We suffer the most.
We suffer the most.
Yes.
We suffer the most. The IRS gonna find you. That grant company or whoever gave you that money is gonna find you. We're gonna end up with worse credit than we started with, because you don't have an income generating activity that's supposed to be. So it would have been better that you stayed in your kitchen making them cakes on the weekend, because at least you're getting somewhere. But sometimes people are making the leap, spending money because it looks good to have a website. It's just, yeah. And I really do say that with sincerity, because I want my people to prosper.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people feeding incorrect and even charging for it. How do you charge somebody to give them
wrong
advice?
Right.
Yeah, and so I want people to prosper. So I hope people understand that it's coming from a really sincere place.
Right.
I want you to prosper. But it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to run this race. You're going to have to run it.
Yes, it is not. It looks so glamorous. And the websites have its place, because I love doing websites for my customers, my clients. Yes. I love the graph. Like, I love to see a person look good, because perception is reality.
It is.
I mean, that's just.
But isn't it easier to do the website? Isn't it easier to do the website when they have an actual business?
Exactly. Or they're not coming back to me saying, "Now what?" It's like, oh. I did what you asked me to do. So, but yes, it really, really is. So all of it plays a part. It's just when to enact all of these different things.
Exactly. Keep a notebook, write it in. It might not be the idea for today, but 6 months down the road, when you start making some bank, you might be able to call Jameelah and get your website done. But day one, when you don't have nothing, you don't even know what you're selling this week. Let's put that on pause and really figure out. Let's put some time in it. Yeah.
Right. Because I always want the client to see the value in what my company offers or what we offer, because then you'll start being mad. I spent this much money doing this. I spent that much money doing this, and I don't see this and I don't see that. And you're mad at the wrong person.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to have it is your responsibility. And it goes back to that employee mindset, because you expect to sit there and somebody bring you a check. That's a job.
So what you're saying too is, even before when you get into entrepreneurship, you have to shift your thinking too.
Absolutely. If you're not on your job and you really start anticipating the needs of your boss, that just saying, oh, I understand this new initiative. Let me learn more about what they're doing and what their purpose is. If you're not thinking at that level, if you can't support your employer's vision at that level, then you might not have the strategic thinking yet to really build your own enterprise, because you're only seeing short term. Right. So some things we don't understand as employees when they roll out a new initiative. That's because you're looking from down here. They got a different perspective. And it might not work, but some things have to be, it's trial and error, even at that size, even at that size of company.
Right.
So it's really about mindset and how teachable you are, and really what you're learning Even when you go in stores or go online and see what they're doing, you're always learning. And we as African Americans, we're the number one consumers in the nation. We should know about running a business.
Yes,
we're so busy getting glammed up. We don't pay attention to nothing.
Right.
We should be students of business, students of marketing, because you got to be real fly to advertise to us. We always have our own special commercial, and they put up brown people like us. But when it comes into us taking on the head of an entrepreneur, we kind of leave those lessons aside because we're not paying attention, even in the marketplace, as customers, on how to treat a customer, how to anticipate needs. And that really goes back to that mindset.
That is so true. Let me let you have a moment here because we're almost up on an hour. This has been a good talk for anybody. If you have been thinking about starting a business, if you say, I need another source of income, this is just a conversation that must be had. Some things, we just want you to take some things away, some takeaways to say, I haven't thought about it like that. Maybe I should table that idea and start this other idea first. Because a lot of times we have many ideas. What does the market need right now? They might not need X, Y, and Z right now, but this other idea people need right now because they're tired of staying in the house or whatever the case may be. Yes. What am I solving? What am I being the solution to? So these are all things that you have to think about before you say, because I think that if entrepreneurship is for you, and it's not for everybody, and that's all right too. But if you're really thinking about getting into entrepreneurship, then these are some questions that people who are just starting out may not even think to start to even ask. So, and someone said you should always be in learning mode. You should. I read so much.
Exactly.
I study so much. It's like, dang, I know I was getting into all, but you have to stay on top of your game. Exactly. Because not every hobby could be turned into a business. Exactly. It's just not viable.
No, we don't want that stuff. That's all right. That's cute, girl. That's like, we're going to look at them, but we might not buy them.
Yes. So don't let the people fool you. I say that all the time. It's some people that's on social media that's really doing this thing. So don't let me get you twisted on that either. But it's a lot of them that bringing the money in, but their expenses are out of this world. Mm-hmm. So they may say, I'm a 6-figure earner, I'm a 7-figure, but how much are you keeping? How much of that money are you able to go back and look at? And how much is going out, So I would say, don't let that jade your thinking that you're not going to have to work hard, that once you do this photo shoot, people just going to flock to you, that you're not going to have to be able to put it. You're not going to have to find out who your target audience is. You're not going to have to find out what talk shows they like, what kind of food they like to eat. You're going to have to find out all of that information, and it's work. So be ready to work. That's one of the main things that I would say, be ready to work. Now, tell us about your products and services, because I know you said something about your book. So
what I mainly do is business consulting, but I also own a small business academy. And what you see on your screen now is a free offer for, I have a course. It's called Unbootleg Your Business in 10 Days. And this is a free mini course, which is one component of that full paid course. But if your clients click the link and follow it, they can look at that one course. And this mini course is focused on business planning. So my business really entails all of the things that we've talked about throughout this hour, about business planning, about learning your target market, seeing if you actually have an income generating activity. The full course even starts with a self-assessment to look at your skills and ability and the things that you enjoy and the pain points that you might enjoy solving before getting into business. And some of the things that we talked about, I describe it as a bootleg business. So my goal is to build unbootleg businesses and to help folk unbootleg. You don't even have to be bootleg from day one. You can start with a little business plan. And the free course includes a free one-page business plan. It walks you through your mission, your vision, how to organize your expenses just to get started, to see if you even have something that can get off the ground. So I challenge everyone to really look inside of you, especially if you have a financial need, and look at your hands and see what have these hands already been equipped to do.
Yes.
You might not need to go and buy nothing. You might have everything that you need right here just to make some money, and then see, hey, did I enjoy that? What did I learn? I don't like these kind of customers. I don't like working outside. So then learn about yourself. Because as I started out saying that we nurture an entire community, the African American women. We take care of our churches, our schools, our men, our children, and the old folks as well. We're at the nursing home, visiting the sick, singing, praying, and that we have a skill set that somebody is in need of and will pay you for. That is my message to you today.
And I completely agree. I want to say thank you, Eulica. You gave some good information.
I have so much more to say. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to come back later. Hopefully,
right. I got a lot of y'all.
So bad. You'll invite me back. Have I worn out my welcome?
What'd you say?
Have I worn out my welcome today?
No. We need this because we want people to jump. We don't want people to be fearful. We're telling people to launch. We're telling people, but we want you to do it in the right way so that you either sustain or you find out real early this ain't it. You know what I mean? So we want
exactly. I really that my passion is to the African American community to make sure that we are building businesses that sustain our community. Other communities that sometimes we talk about, they are built through entrepreneurship. They own different stores in our community. We can't complain about it. If we were already on that block, they couldn't have got there. So right. Our way out is through, hi, Tyrus. So our way out of our community, the answer to our community problem is through entrepreneurship. Yes. I'm telling you, it's through entrepreneurship that we will raise up our community.
And that's so true. That's why you're right. We got to bring you back, but we want people to get out here and do it right, because we know we would be wrong to tell everybody, just jump, just do it, and then not give you the steps.
Quit your job. Quit your what?
Yeah. What? No, don't quit your job. Find out what they're doing. So
exactly. You need to be at work like with a pen. They be like, you look at the best employee because I'm learning.
Yes, because I'm like how they say, I'm finna take all this information and move it over to my stuff. So thank you very much.
Exactly. I want to see that.
Yes. So you're welcome, Tyrus. This was a really, really, really great conversation tonight. So I just want to say, Eulica, thank you so much. We will have you back. I will have the link to your free mini course so that people can get a glimpse of what their full course is all about. So I will have that. I always do another post after the broadcast, so it will be up there. I do want to say real quickly, if you could hold on for me, Eulica, don't move. I'll be right back. Get these pencils that I was using earlier. Okay. I wanted to say that next week, you guys, we're going to have a great dynamic person on next week. Her name is Tanya Williamson. She is bad to the bone, y'all. She is the founder, along with her husband, Gerald, of Married to the Ring. And you know, we're getting ready to go into Love Month. February is coming in. But guess what? Relationships are more than about, romantic relationships. We need to be developing personal and professional relationships. So she will be in the conversation room next week. So we're so excited. We want you to come back. Like I said, thank you so much to everyone that was here tonight. I hope you have learned something new on tonight. It was enjoyable. And that, your Friday, your 1 hour wasn't just for anything. Invite people, share from Conversations with Graciously Me Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would say enjoy your evening, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and remember, in a world where you can choose to be anything, always choose to be yourself, because no one can beat you at being you. Good night.